Little Prince, that he was on the planet looking to the stars. Prefer to look at the star than to be a star. Loyalty and trust and care. My basics is classical studies. The art of create is a fiction political order. I look always to the young leaders. I can tell you what my mother said. They found me talking under their big umbrella because of this courage.
Hello everybody, Chili Live channel and me, Irene Lentigini, we are greeting you. Today, in frames of our program Stars About Stars, we have a fantastic celebrity guest who is leader by himself, connected with the leaders in politics, in business all over the world. President of Forza Italia, Task Force Italia, sorry, fantastic Valeria De Luca.
Hello to everybody.
Valeria, thank you so much. I do appreciate that you said me yes for this interview. Today we have a very specific, very unique, and I hope very interesting conversation, first of all, for you as my star guest. Because as I always say that astrology, it's only birth potential, and what we are doing today, it's our investigation together deeply into yourself, and we are doing horoscope based interview that I hope can open up your heart first of all more, and we can share a lot of things, useful things with our followers and with our guests. Your date of birth is 17th of October 1971. Is it correct?
Yes, it's correct.
You were born, Valeria, on the day of a star. Have you ever dreamed to become a celebrity when you were a kid?
I really liked the novel of Little Prince, that he was on the planet looking to the stars. I was born in that contest, and the care of the roses, as in the novel, and the care of the stars is something that has always impressed me in my life. So I didn't want to become a star, but to have this desire. As you know, the word desire comes from Latin. It means something that is between you and the stars. So I prefer to look at the star than to be a star.
Your birth month corresponds to the Wheel of Fortune. What was the most unusual life turn?
I have to tell you that is very recent, and it is the birth of my son that was unusual and unplanned. So this little boy, little kid, this is my real star. Reschedule all my priorities in a way that's in a unprecedented ways. The event that changed my life, that is very recent.
Thank you so much. Such a beautiful and respectful answer for a man. The energy of the wish of year corresponds to the energy of Hierophant that gives a lot of tradition and speaks about structure. What is your main life rule?
There are many rules. Of course, the rule change according to your objectives, but there are a minimum of strong values that has to orient your life. And my case is loyalty and trust and care, the basis of tradition and structure. But on the other way, the ability to change immediately, and the flexibility to adapt to a new event. We have to be loyal to the value that in that context are follow your life, but we have to be ready to change them and to be loyal.
You know from where astrologically this flexibility comes? Through your horoscope? Because your karmic task corresponds to the qualities of Aquarius. It's all about flexibility, communication, easy going to change, and wish to find out something new, always be around people that actually you're doing in a brilliant way all your life. So your karmic task that is North Node is in Aquarius, And in this moment, it's very important to communicate with people as much as possible. Which education did you receive, and what do you feel is your mission?
My basics is classical studies, so it was very important in the college to attend all these Greek and Latin studies that give to our culture the root of we say pietas, the compassion. When Ulysses or uh, on other Trojan heroes, the novels of Homero and everybody's, they are paradigm of life. If you think you come back to the mythos in the past, they come also from Greek and the Latin heroes. So studying this ancient language and this culture give to me the opportunity to go back to the Italian and Roman, because I'm Roman, from Rome and Roman. I'm very proud to be from the empire, and give me the inspirational vision that will set up my culture and my education in the choices that I got during my life.
A large planet cluster is situated in Libra, which also gives you a lot of abilities to be in politics, in diplomacy. What is the main art for you of being diplomatic?
The diplomacy is the art to let people go in the way that you want to let them follow you. So you have to, in some way, to say the nicest things, the worst things, or in some way the nastiest things in the nicest way. So it's the art of create is a fiction. So it's something that is related kind of to create a new reality, a fiction, and to enable people to follow your path. Of course, that is important in the big political order, and some, as you know, some facts, some events are not real. People think that are real, but are not. So the diplomacy have to create, to legitimate some truth that are not real.
Thank you so much. I think that's a fantastic advice, really professional advice for everybody who wants to be not only politician leader, but leader in life at all. So Valerio, you have a big stellium. It's a lot of planets. It's house number 5. It's all about family. It's all about kids. It's all about love. So it gives you an opportunity to be dealing successfully with teenagers. What is your connection with children except your life-changing moment about your kid, of course? And do you do special activities in this field?
I have to say this is a very interesting question that gave me the opportunity to rethink my goals and the relations of the kids and in general the new generation is inspirational, because I always in my academic career and in building this leadership network, I look always to the young leaders, and there is an expression. I don't know if you know the novel of Gulliver, the giant. They have the small people that go on around him. So the knowledge is the ability to have these small people on the giant shoulder to look forward. I feel express myself when I can stimulate, encourage some young leader, because if when you encourage even one or two person, you're not to involve followers, million of followers, but when you can influence two or three people that are young but very smart, you can be more influential, because these three people will influence and orient other people.
By the way, you have very strong moon in Libra that gives you a lot of opportunities, very, not opportunities, of course, it's already realized potential, but very calm, very educational, high-level atmosphere in your house, but I can see it through your books. That's how you are now. But if to remember, you being a child, was the most crazy moment that you've done in your life?
I can tell you what my mother said, that when we were in the beach, and I lost myself, and my mother, everybody was looking for me, was looking for me. So I lost. You imagine, my mother was crying, all my families, because I start to walk, and they found me talking with people. So it was maybe it's a simple example of crazy moment, because I left when I was 5 years, 6 years. I left the group of my family without information, without that, and I go to something that was unknown, no? So, and they found me talking under the big umbrella on the beach with other people eating. So many things of my life.
You see, you started to do your job very successfully in very early age. By the way, my next question, it was around aspects of Uranus that gives a lot of unexpected situation when you are intuitive follower. This is about the kid, but when you're already an adult, what was your most fateful moment in your life?
When I was in the university, in American university, and I had the opportunity to follow these big leaders and to get in the circle by chance. And I remember I was particularly in London, because I was at that time visiting research at the London School of Economics, and Angela Merkel and Sarkozy organized a meeting, very special meeting, in the Eliseo, in the Palace of Élysée, in Paris. And as Forrest Gump, I was invited to attend this meeting because the big university was in partnership with them. So I was very lucky to be at the right moment in that time, that it was the 2008 financial crisis. So that big important leaders, was also Tony Blair and important people. We were 50 people with the Nobel Prize. You imagine all the people that were in that position to create a new consensus, to rebuild a new order after this terrific financial crisis. And all these people was in the first line, but there is one seat left. You imagine I go there and I sit. Then nobody told me nothing, because we were in the situation where if you were there is some reason, So they're
already somebody very special.
Friends, they invited you. You don't care. There is no protocol there. Because of this courage and to break the rules, that is very Italian style. After the people were speaking, the first free line was cut from the rest of the part, and bring them in the special lunch with all these people. So I was real Forrest Gump, like the film, because I was nobody, and I was seated close to Tony Blair, to everybody. And so I took the opportunity to talk like I talk with you. And so I start to have this kind of connection with these people because of this disruptive, I would say, courage. And every time I did the same. When I was invited by them in Dubai from the Emir, and at the same time they invited me to give a speech in this big, with the real family, and at the same time I was sitting at the same time with in the table of the king. So you have to launch yourself when there is this event that can change your life, of course, not always.
Of course, because you were ready for this moment. You're ready in your mind, in your soul, with your knowledge, with everything. And I think it's very important to catch this opportunity and to take a gift from the universe that is given.
I think think that I really take care girlfriends or either friends. You're right. So your studies were very well. These authorities control the manipulation of information. The collapse of Lehman Brothers in 2008 of the new financial order, a very secret stage of my life. Prime Minister Mario Draghi. Listen to us, that was Mario Draghi that saved the euro. The Italian educational system give to me a lot, and they give me the opportunity to realize my dream. It was a really American dream.
Кожна господиня має власний особливий секрет приготування смачних страв. Мій особистий секрет – це олія Данкен. Вміст олеїнової кислоти в олії Данкен вищий за оливкову. Корисні й унікальні споживчі властивості олії допомагають зберегти первинний смак усіх інгредієнтів моїх страв. А мої страви – це справжні сімейні цінності, що передаються від матері до доньки, від дочки до онуки та до праонуки. Українська високоолеїнова олія Данкен –
це во!
Your planet of love that is Venice in Scorpio. So I can see you through birth chart written as a very passionate person about everything you are doing in life, from relationship up to business construction. Tell me, please, in reality, with people you love, what you are. What are your main features, I could say?
I think that I really take care of the relationship of the person, and particularly the friendship. I believe a lot in friendship and the loyalty. And it's important. I experience it in all my life, in the private, in the love, in friendship, and to be clear since the beginning, because it's always a problem of expectation. So if there is a problem of expectation in friendship and love, if you are clear since the beginning, then things go well. If you start to manipulate the beginning to oversell yourself, have to be faithful. It's important in a pragmatic way. I don't want to be the person that I have the big values, the great values, because of course, I'm also but it's a pragmatic way to start with companions of your work and to be clear since the beginning. Then things can change.
Valerio, your planet of activity, that is Mars, is located on the cuspid that is border between two fields. That it's house of your career and communication and traveling and education. Tell me, please, if you had to choose just one partner or companion, your friend, and just one place, where would you go and with whom you would go?
I really like to travel. Some locations are really unforgettable. I think I would choose Bali. So it's something that, you really feel peaceful with all the elements. So I went once time, but I really feel peaceful. I don't know why, with people.
100% connection with the God, with the universe, with everything. And karma is so fast there. Oh, wow. You do something, in 10 minutes, you get the answer. So beautiful. And who would be your partner in crime for that?
Girlfriends or either friends. But of course, this is the best situation. But I have to say that I feel very well also to be my own. Of course, it's beautiful. It's important to share these moments together. But sometimes people need other people, not because they want, but they need. So they depend on the others.
So now we start the most interesting part of our conversation and interview, because we are going a little bit with data, with numbers, ages, into your aggression, into your past life, 2007, 2008. Secret actions. And your intuition gets stronger, and period of very dynamic expression of artistic inspirations and your actions. What happened by that moment?
You're right. So your studies were very well, because
Thank you.
And in 2006, I started to work with the government in the financial sector in the
Secret
authorities.
actions.
Secret text. So,
Grazie.
and was very important experience there, because it was very secret, because I was working with the chairman of these authorities of control all the financial, I say, market, so that involve all these banks, bankers, financial people, and businessmen. So I had the opportunity to really look at the capitalism as the real dominate and influence our society, because of course, as you know, these authorities control the manipulation of information. If the scandal, the financial scandal, all these, we know that when this the bubble, financial bubble, these are also acts that these people, bankers or capitalists, do to manipulate the investors or the people that invest in the financial market to get money. So it was very important to investigate in that sector, to get the secret of these people, because we got, of course, the police to do everything. And it was very important because the financial crisis that started in 2008, so I got this position in 2006, I investigated and so on. Then when the collapse of Lehman Brothers in 2008, that was a scandal, as you know, people, they tricked, so they do all as everybody knows what happened. So these authorities sent me to London to be part in London School of Economics of these centers. It was the Law and Financial Market Group, that all people from World Bank, Goldman Sachs, Bank of England, was all from all over the world concentrated in this group to rethink the rules of the new financial order. So it was 2008.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing with us. And 2011, it's as well some kind of extra responsibilities on your shoulders, and maybe some kind of financial changes as well, possibly caring of an elderly relative in your family. What happened by that time? So what is key figure authority for you as well in your life?
In 2011,
11.
In particular, this is a particular date, and was not, there is not so much, if I remember well, things in particular, but I have to say that with my family, I always had an important relationship, and maybe during that period of time, I started also to work close with my cousin in an important companies that we built together. So we started to give a business model to all this leadership network. And so on one end. On the other hand, I also feel close to my father in some very secret stage of my life. I'm sure that was that period of time that the circle of my family was very strong.
In that period of life, like 11, 12, as well, I see an aspect of some new initiatives. Maybe it was corresponding to your business activity that you started again. And if to speak about politics, I understand you're out of politics. You're just figure of networking all over the world. But who is your politician ideal? Maybe he's dead already, maybe he's not alive, but who is that key figure for you that you respect a lot?
I have to say that it's strange, but the kind of leader that I respect a lot is our Prime Minister Mario Draghi. And he's a really statesman. He came from a very extraordinary careers. Was a governor of Bank of Italy, the governor of European Central Bank. Now he's our prime minister. But he always, and he was a very important figure in Goldman Sachs. So he put the young people at the young people first. And if you heard his speech and his emotional leadership, and of course his great competence in financial market, in the ability to look forward and have a big vision. And you should remember, and people that listen to us, that was Mario Draghi that saved the euro. And when there was the collapse in 2010, maybe that period, he broke the German rules to put money, in the market to save the euro for all. And it was this disruptive the courage to change and force the rule. They save our savings, they save the currency and everything.
By the way, I wanted to ask you to share more about your academy. And my next question, exactly because in 2012, it was dive into studies and period of very important contracts and conclusions. So what is for nowadays your contribution to the educational system of Italy and Europe at all?
It's better to say what the educational Italian and foreign educational system gave to me, because the Italian educational system gave to me a lot, but I cheated the Italian system when I escaped to America, because you have to say that the Italian system is very structured with very close people, that you have to be very close, the professor with the son, it's a big family. So it's very difficult to be part of them. And I was part of that because my father is a professor, my uncle is a professor of law. So I was inside, my career was already there. But when I decided to go to study, because I got this PhD in Italy, and I decided to complete the studies in America, because there was a competition law antitrust related to internet, to the web. So America was at that time, they invented the internet. So I came there to learn about antitrust regulation of internet on the big companies like Google. So, and I experienced the meritocracy of the American system. So without any name, without to be the son or the new nephew of this or there, I was without name, and they give me the opportunity to realize my dream, to be connected with all these important people. And I remember when I left the university, they asked me to stay another year to follow my studies. And I asked them to give me the opportunity to recommend me to an important commissioner in the European Commission, that was Mario Monti, that after became our prime minister. So he was Mario Monti at that time in 2001 and 2, was breaking Microsoft monopolistic position in some market. So he was the person that was in charge in Europe to block this concentration of power coming from American marketplace. Because I was there, I asked from this professor at Yale to send me this, and then they sent me this letter and accepted me to work with him at the European Commission. It was a really American dream, because they give the opportunity to jump from America to Europe, and not from me to Europe. And a capability to work in team. We organize a meeting, online meeting. The COVID-19 came. So I really went to Google that meeting in Palazzo Élysée, foreign minister for foreign affairs, for example, Lavrov, who are the players that are changing the world. Yes, it's true. It's true.
Wow.
I have to think about, but I will do.
Кожна господиня має власний особливий секрет приготування смачних страв. Мій особистий секрет – це олія Данкен. Вміст олеїнової кислоти в олії Данкен вищий за оливкову. Корисні й унікальні споживчі властивості олії допомагають зберегти первинний смак усіх інгредієнтів моїх страв. А мої страви – це справжні сімейні цінності, що передаються від матері до доньки, від дочки до онуки та до праонуки. Українська високоолеїнова олія Данкен –
Це во!
Valeria, in 2012 and 13, you have an aspect of old connection come back to your life. Tell me, please, what happened by that age? Did you really meet people from your past who came into your life again? And who are members? What should I do to become a participant of Task Force Italia?
To be participant of Task Force Italia, you have to have an emotional leadership and a capability to work in team together, and to combine the competence, the high-level expertise in some sector, because we are 60 members. The 14% of these are women, and we really appreciate this kind of leadership that is at the center also of Task Force Italia. And you have the ability to be in touch with leaders. So our format is to have these important people that are CEOs. The member of Task Force Italia are CEOs, chairman of banks, important professor, NGOs at top level. And we organize a meeting, online meeting nowadays. This is the only way to do this. It's with a 25 person. And this is a circle of leaders. We interview him, this special person, and then the table of people that worked on that special proposal to relaunch Italy in the sector, for example, of business, the sector of tourism, in the sector of research and innovation, in the sector of culture, and so on. We have 16 sectors, different fields, and we work together and we make a brainstorming, like we have a meeting with this person, and then this person give not his expertise, because as I told you, these people that are inside Task Force Italia, maybe they know better than him. But we ask to him the leadership, the vision to look at these measures.
But when and how this idea came to you to create this organization?
The epidemic started.
When pandemic started?
Yes. The COVID-19 came on the 13 January 13, our Prime Minister declared the state of emergency.
Yes.
And after they passed some laws that we know, everybody, the lockdown and everything. At that time, at the end of February, so 2 weeks later, I had this idea to call all this Italian network, and also it's important is also Italian that has a great position abroad. So, for example, we have a high-level top manager in BlackRock that lives in London. We have the Professor Gino, that is a professor of management at Harvard University. So I really went to Google to look these people that have had a great success abroad, and that high-level position, because I thought they wanted to help Italy if, we have in this.
So it should be Italian person by origin. It should be Italian. Speak Italian.
We speak Italian because we have also an important professor from France, that is Professor Fitoussi, that together Joe Stiglitz and Amartya Sen, that are Nobel Prize winner. And I met him in Paris because he was a special advisor of Sarkozy, the president of France, Republic France, in France. So that he was the person that was my link during that meeting in Palace Élysée. That from that time I keep a relationship with him, and so he's a person that is involved in our task force.
Valeria, a couple of years before, like 2016-18, if you remember, it was like Trology says, period of freedom, some impulsive actions, and maybe some relationship with art. I know that you really have a strong passion to love. Tell me, please, about this time. What happened, and is it true? Does it relate to you?
At that time, I had the opportunity in Rome to be part of important meeting related to the Mediterranean geopolitics, and to have in Rome all the most important foreign minister for foreign affairs, from, for example, Lavrov and other important people. They came in Rome to talk about a common politics in the Mediterranean area, in the strategic sector of energy, security, investments. And at that time, I had the opportunity to start to understand how the new political order were going, in particularly because of the Donald Trump administration came in. So it was very important to understand how the diplomacy and the war was orienting. So it's important every time, not only to be, you can guide, of course, the car, but also to be in the car. It's also important. So I'm conscious that what I'm living with, who are the players that are changing the world, that if only you can guide the change, you can drive the future. Otherwise, you are I don't know, our follower, but you have followed somebody else. That's why I created and founded Task Force Italia, because I was conscious that was a changing of paradigms, and it was. If you think it was just an epidemic, it's strong, but nobody knows that it was so strong. So I was so conscious that something that told me this is a very important, dramatic event that will change and restructure the world. So I want to be in that position. So I created this group of leaders and organize. If I have a capabilities, is to organize leaders.
You know, it's interesting that you made an example about the car and driving, just because my next question was very small one, but I have some unexpected transport difficulties in 2018, 2019. Does it relate? Is it true?
Yes, it's true. It's true.
Wow. I hope nothing wrong. All good?
I have to tell you that your format is really successful, because I have to say that these stars, this astrology, was really, they fit in some important event of my life that changed myself. So thank you for has given me the opportunity to have this trip of my life and to go to the past, to think about important events that changed with decision the direction of my. And so it was really nice to do this, and I'm sure that I will ask some friends to also to join to your format, because I was really impressed of this.
Thank you so much, Valeria. I really do appreciate your energy, your time, your sincere answers. Actually, I tell you the truth, with you, communication and conversation, it could be endless, because your biography is so full of interesting events and people that I have another list of questions to you, but maybe it's going to happen for the next interview. If you give me permission, I always give as a small gift, like I find the mineral that it would be proper friend for you. So your mineral is aquamarine. Actually, it's a mineral of travelers that keeps them safe whenever you go. And I hope that border are gonna be opened very soon, and everything is gonna be open very soon in London, where you go so often. and Europe. I hope that Rome and Italy will never suffer and all our world anymore. I wish you a lot of traveling inside yourself, in Bali, outside the world. Thank you so much for everything that you shared with us, Stars About Stars project. And if you give me permission to ask you, to whom you give Pass to SAS?
I have to think about, but I will do, I'm sure.
Okay, okay.
This
Think,
and thank you for the aquamarine, because it's the color that I prefer, and the look of what I dress.
100%, 100%.
So it's the color that I love.
Very well with your eyes.
Let me think about a leader that can join to us. Maybe we can talk about this, maybe a woman or a man, and we can chat. Let me think about this, and thank you again. And now I go to my child that is knocking on my door.
So good, it's so beautiful.
Is
Papa, Daddy. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
With all my faith and love, from Los Angeles to Rome, Irene Lentiggini. Oh, say hi, say hi. Hello. Hi, hi, hi. Wow, such eyes. Sì, grazie mille a tutto, grazie. Buona giornata, buona serata a te e a tutta la famiglia. Ciao.